I'd love to see women get paid the same as men. I'd love to see that women are in every room where decisions are being made.
I want to see women not just leading small nonprofits. I want to see women leading Fortune 500 companies, giving back.
Direct Positive was so beautiful and inspiring. I absolutely loved getting to hear the stories of all of these empowered women in leadership and seeing how they blazed a trail and a path for themselves, and in turn what that's going to do and the doors it's going to open for future women and people of color going forward. I also really liked how they, just in terms of the presentation of the information, it wasn't just, a sit-down documentary, which would have been great as well, but it was cut in between these portraits that they were taking. And I loved getting to see the process of those photos being taken. I think it's so special that you really only get one shot to do it. And that it just brings me back to, the days of having film cameras, right? You don't know what it's going to look like until it develops. And it's so special that the time and the care that this photographer takes to make sure everything is set up properly, and you're putting forward your best, but also your most authentic self, and trusting that whatever comes out, whatever is captured, it's true to the real you. And I really liked how near the end they had kind of these slow captures of each of the portraits, and then had the women's voices over top with, final words and final thoughts. And I really loved the one woman saying, when she's on her deathbed, she wants to be able to say, wow, what a ride, and not to be afraid. And how, she's not going to look cute at the end. She's going to look tired and raggedy and all of that, but she did it. She really lived life to the fullest, and that was so inspiring for me. And the whole film was just getting to hear everyone's stories and these powerful women who are doing it for themselves, because no one's gonna give you a handout, especially as a woman of color in this world. So this was a really, really special film. I loved the portraits that were captured, and this is just so special. Great job.
Direct Positive was a great documentary short. It was about women in different fields of industry and the problems and strife they had to go through to get where they need to go. And it's really well done. It's very, very much somber and serious. Really nice hearing these women's stories about all the things they had to go through to get where they need to go in any type of industry. That was pretty cool. That was pretty great. The interview scenes were well shot and well choreographed, and I felt like I had a very nice presentation, professional presentation.
The reviews for Direct Positive. This is an outstanding film of women fighting the good fight for true equality in the workplaces. Posing questions as what a leader looks like, where to emphasize the efforts for more equality, what traits can we foster and encourage to manage to get more women leaders, and the positive impact that having women role models has in younger generations. It's also fascinating to see this craftsmanship of the photographer, her vintage camera, and the specific, very detailed process that gave this film such a powerful title. It is outstanding. I really enjoyed it. I'm quite literally following every of these women careers now, and what strikes out most is this wise words each of them said. One of the more powerful for me was, don't be afraid, don't be scared, just go do it, be authentic. All this really trickles down, and it really supports how women and younger girls or younger women um, see themselves and see things of themselves. So this is an amazing film. I really enjoyed it. Clever title. I loved it.
This was a really strong documentary. Um, Important topical subject matter is a good start, and we have that here. It's presented really well. We get a good sort of um, cross section of perspectives. I mean, it's sort of narrowly focused still, but I thought we had a good sort of sampling, and I saw reflected in the people featured here, people from my own life, women in positions a little higher up the ladder, and so I could kind of relate even vicariously to a lot of their experiences. So I was keenly interested that way. And yeah, the documentary itself again presented well. The that sort of relaxing music that underscored it all was a great choice. I enjoyed a lot of the imagery. The photographs were great, especially seeing that old, was it 1902 camera in action. I thought was fantastic. So really, there's a lot of just a lot of good stuff going on in this one. So everyone involved should be really thoroughly happy with this documentary. Great job.
What a beautiful documentary. I mean, I love what the group Tempo stands for and how they're affecting future generations of women and empowering them, inspiring them. I think that it's amazing. Just watching this, I felt very inspired and I felt very, very empowered. And I love that about any kind of a film that can make you feel those feelings. The story that the one woman told about buying her own bank, I just wanted to stand up and cheer. I thought that that was such a great story. It was a joy to listen to all of the interviews and all of the women and listening to their stories and where they had come from. And another really cool thing that I loved about this film was the photographer who was doing the, tintype photos. Those were gorgeous. Those tintype photos they were absolutely amazing. So I think the filmmakers were really smart in the way that they shot this, in the way that they edited this. It all had this lovely flow to it. And just when you thought that it was like, okay, you were getting to a point where you maybe might have been getting a little bit like, okay, we need to move, they drop another inspirational gem at your feet. And I think that that was just really, really cool. Great job, you guys. Stunning film.
Next, I watched a film called Direct Positive. This one I thought did a really good job of balancing a specific central concept with a broader kind of central theme to the film. Both of these I thought were explored pretty thoroughly, were explored pretty well. Similar to The Breeding Shed, this one does a really good job of drawing your attention towards something pretty niche, something that not a lot of people are interested in or have experience with, and it makes you interested in it. It presents it in a way that stays engaging and is also relevant to the film's broader themes. The visuals with the photographs themselves, I thought added a really nice extra layer of quality to the film. They're very distinct and quite striking in terms of their visuals, so that's something that I really liked, really appreciated as well. So overall, I thought that this was also a well-done film.
Positive hits home for almost any woman who owns a business, or any woman at all. For so long, many women do feel quiet. We feel afraid to speak up. And this documentary goes through women who finally found their voices and found their path in life. It's something that should be shown to women in women's groups, no matter what their walk in life is. to encourage all of us to start speaking up and using our voices, because a lot of times as women, as the women pointed out in this, we're just afraid to speak up. So it's time that we find our voices again, and this hit home through all their different stories, through a banker, through a woman who found an old-time camera to do really cool photography. It's an art form that should come back. And all the other women that were in this documentary, they found their voices and mentioned how afraid they were at first, but then spoke up by saying that women do need to speak up more, and by doing so we will become more in leadership positions. It just involves not being afraid to speak up and find your voice. So job well done.